Now, when I make a video for YouTube, I also like to upload a thumbnail. I think it looks good. Without thumbnails, the channel looks slightly boring. And when you create a thumbnail, you can actually add some text on it. And there are multiple ways to create a thumbnail. You can use programs like GIMP. I don't really use GIMP all the time. Sometimes I do when I have to like do few extreme customizations, which I hardly do, like when I have to like cut the image and I have to insert some text in the background. But usually I prefer doing this thumbnail creation using Google Slides, and I use Google Slides because it is convenient, and that is the only reason. And what I do normally is in my Google slide, I have different for each and every topic. Let us say if I'm making a video on ffmpeg, I have usually a separate slide for only for ffmpeg, and then I of course change it. I of course add this character if I have to, and sometimes I also add some background image, like apart from just blank white background. I also try to include sometimes the screenshot of the tool or whatever I'm trying to show. But this process is not really the fastest, although when I make a video I don't really spend too much time every day. It is hardly more than 10 or 15 minutes, and I used to use OBS. Now I've started using ffmpeg, so I use a script to record a video. So whenever I feel like making a video, I just run the script, and I can immediately start recording. And by the way, I can also go live if I want to. But today I thought I'll probably show you how we can save time further, because time is precious and we want to automate things wherever we can. I mean, not everything. I mean, there's no point in automating each and everything in your life, but if you know it can be done automatically, then why not do it? Give it a try. And that is what I am going to do today. I have actually done it already. I wanted to, of course, show you how I am able to create a nice thumbnail like this. So this thumbnail that you are probably looking at even in this video, I generated this thumbnail using nothing but ffmpeg and of course shell script. Now let me explain this how it works. So for each and every topic, as I mentioned before, I prefer keeping a separate background image. So this is the background image for my ffmpeg, with of course some logo or whatever, circles or whatever you want to draw. Maybe you want to make it look a bit more professional. I mean, you don't have to, but up to you. So basically this is my base image. Then on top of the base image, I prefer also adding some character to the thumbnail. So this is one person looking on the left hand side, and I can have different images like looking on the right, or looking in front of the image, or maybe the character is smiling or not smiling, or sarcastic smile. So you can have different images. So this is my image number 2 for the character. And when I want to also share, let us say, a screenshot, so this is one image that I want to also show in the background. So ultimately what this will do, the overall thumbnail will look like this, where you will have everything combined, and of course everything is nicely placed. If I compare it with the screenshot that I create, or the thumbnail that I create using Google Slide, it is not much different, to be honest. It is more or less the same thing. So, and that is the reason why I decided, and I thought I'm going to use this ffmpeg and of course a shell script to do the same thing that I'm doing using Google Slides, because there is no point of using Google Slides anymore if I can automate the process, and I can of course do it much quickly. So to run the script, of course you have to pass a couple of arguments, but let me show you the script first. So I have this variable called bg image, which is of course the background image. Then the second image, the screenshot, and I prefer keeping the screenshot as my second image, because I want this character to be on top of the screenshot. So that is why this is my second image, and my third image is of course the character's image. Now these images are right now of course hard coded, but I mean of course you can if you know how to write shell scripts, you can also take this input from the user. What I'll probably do is I'll try to make it a bit more dynamic. If I don't really provide any input or argument while running the script, it will take images from the script, the hard-coded images. And of course, these images are somewhere maybe in my home directory, but you can change. And then for each and every image, I prefer having this color. Like right now, my ffmpeg videos, thumbnail, they all have this green theme. So this color is also mentioned here in a variable. And of course, I will improve it further. I will try to make just one script for each and everything. But the purpose of this video is to explain you how it works. Now, using ffmpeg, we have been doing it for quite a while now. We can specify multiple inputs. So the first input is BG, then second input is the character. No, not the character, but the screenshot. And of course, the third image is the image of the character. And then using filter complex, you can do a lot of wonderful things. Now, filter complex is amazing. I am in love with filter complex. For example, if you want to start with the second input. Now, my purpose here is to first overlay the image, the image of the image of the screenshot on top of the background. So what I'm doing is I'm of course scaling it further. For example, if I want I don't really want, I mean, the image can be very big, but I want to make sure it is maybe 600 or 500. So let us just change it to 500 just to see how it looks like. So if I run this image, if I open maybe a terminal and I try to run the script, I can of course type in the thumb or whatever, I mean the text. So let us keep it as thumbnail and shell script, maybe one exclamation mark, just to add some difference. So when you run this, it will overwrite the existing image. You can also replace it with timestamp, and you can watch my previous video on screen recording using ffmpeg, where I basically did all this using nothing but a timestamp. So all the files will have a timestamp, but in this case, because it is a screenshot and I don't really care about the old images, so I'll just keep it as output. So I can of course overwrite it. So now if you notice here, the image is slightly smaller as compared to the previous one. So the background image, the screenshot. So this is something that is amazing because I'm doing it using this code. So let us change it back to maybe 600. Then the image, the output image is image 2, which I am overlaying on top of the first input, which is my BG. And when you overlay, you can specify the dimension of or location basically of the let me just try to load it again and show you the. So this is the image that we just generated again, and if you notice here, this image, the screenshot image, is slightly offset on the x-axis. So you can actually specify this here, 50 colon 200, and this is of course x and y. And once you have this output, you can use something like maybe a name like BG0, whatever you want to use in the name. Then for the combined image, like right now we have after these two lines we have the background image with the screenshot. Then I'm overlaying my character, which is my third input, I guess. Let me just check. Yes, this is my third input. And when you overlay this, you can of course specify the location again. For the third input again, the image is actually just one big image. If you want, you can also crop it. But right now, if you overlay it at a specific location, it will go outside or beyond the boundary of your original base image. But it is fine because the overall size will be the one that you already have in the background. So if you maybe overlay it with some x and y axis, you can change the location. Like right now, it is on the right hand side. But you can also crop it just to be a bit more precise. Then of course we are drawing text, and we have learned how to do this in the past. Like right now I'm using two labels, label 1 and label 2. My label 1 is the one that will show something like thumbnail or generate thumbnail. I prefer this. I mean, you don't have to, you can have like maybe, I mean, this is just my way of doing it. You can of course maybe have just one label or maybe have text somewhere else. I prefer it on the left hand side with some margin of maybe 30. So right now it is not really touching the border on the left hand side, but there is something like I guess it is maybe I think it is touching, but the text is going to start along with the image with some gap. which is always, I think, handy. And of course, when you do this, you can draw one more text if you want. And the idea here is to create different layers. So the first layer of the image, first layer is of course the scaled image of the first thing that you're doing is you're scaling the image, the screenshot, then you're overlaying it on BG. So it is all about chaining the output of one line to another line. And finally, the last thing that I'm doing is I'm writing my label 2, and ultimately I'm mapping it to my BG3, which is simply going to the output file. So it is a simple script and it works really well for me, I guess, because it is it is something that I can generate by running just one simple command, and I don't have to like open Google Slides and waste my time. And I thought I'll probably share this with all of you. So that is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much.